Hello, we're using the Frogotter education system and today we are doing E010, examining the Time Snail. And my special guest is...
Squeak, 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 squeak.
a surprisingly deep-voiced mouse.
Sir Cheese!
Hello, Sir Cheese. Okay, so we've got the Time Snail out already. Now what we've got to do, it says, the Time Snail shows some historical events. I've arranged time in a spiral, rather than a traditional line, because we know less details about the earliest history. Oh, maybe don't take
The
it off
Big
the table.
Bang!
That's right. The spiral compresses the most distant past, just as we do when we talk about it.
And it also compresses the distant future because we know absolutely nothing about the future.
We talk about the Stone Age, which covers millions of years. We know more details about the more recent past. We talk about the English Civil War, which covered only 9 years. When we get to the most recent past, like Neil Armstrong landing on the moon, we know the exact date, July the 20th, 1969. Now, can you find something on the Time Snail that happened a long time ago?
The invention of reeds! Right there!
Well, that's meant to be the dawning of agriculture, isn't it? The beginning of agriculture. But that did indeed happen a very long time ago. Good.
What about the invention of poppies?
These are the events that I chose to draw on the Time Snail. So what I'd like you to do is move your finger along the Time Snail while I read them. Are you ready? The Big Bang, Life Begins, Dinosaurs, Stone Age, Invention of Agriculture, Ancient Egyptian Civilization, Celts in Britain, Ancient Greek Civilization, Iron Age in Britain, Roman Empire, Birth of Christianity, Vikings, Normans, Henry VIII, Elizabeth I, the English Civil War, the British Empire, the French Revolution, the invention of steam trains, the invention of cars, the invention of planes,
The invention of poppies.
the First World War.
Then the invention of poppies.
Okay, we've said that a lot, haven't we? Because we've said that on previous videos. We don't need to keep saying that joke.
Okay.
The Roaring Twenties,
The invention of dancing.
the Second World War. Well, a lot of dances were invented in the Roaring Twenties. Hiroshima.
The invention of mushroom clouds.
All right. Queen Elizabeth I.
The invention
The
of
second.
dance.
You see, you've got me confused now. This is Queen Elizabeth II. Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. The invention of the space shuttle. The invention of the World Wide Web.
The invention of spiders attacking us.
And the coronavirus pandemic. Okay.
And the coronavirus was in the food bags.
Okay. So choose 2 pictures on the Time Snail and compare them. So which 2 pictures shall we look at?
I will compare the Big Bang and the invention of poppies.
I don't... Okay.
However, the end of
Okay,
World
you're
War
kicking the table, and as you kick it, the Time Snail slides so it's less and less in view of the camera. So we need to not kick the table while we're trying to film it, okay? Let's compare... So, okay, so you want to compare the Big Bang with World War One.
The end of World War One.
Okay.
Right there, the poppies.
Well, why do we use poppies? What do the poppies remind us of?
That the people died.
They do, they remind us of people died. But what happened at the Big Bang?
Everything was created.
Everything began at the Big Bang. So the,
Ending and
so
created.
that's right, so this is an ending picture and this is a beginning picture. But this is
The very beginning.
But this is the beginning of everything, and this is only the ending of some things, isn't it?
Like
Because of
people.
course, not everybody died in World War One.
Yeah.
Lots of people continued to live, so that we could continue to have. Okay, that's a little silly. Okay, can we do the next bit then? Because you're getting a little silly. Now it says to pick. Are you listening? You need to pick one of these topics and find as many examples as you can. So first we'll pick which topic we're going to use. So your topic options are clothes, weapons, methods of travel, or art.
Weapon.
Okay, so we're going to go with weapons. So we need to find as many weapons as we can.
Warplanes.
Planes, brilliant.
Vikings invented lots of things.
Okay, but we're looking for weapons.
And
Right,
especially the
this, we're looking for
The
weapons.
Greeks definitely invented weapons.
Okay, we're looking for which pictures of weapons you can see. So you've seen a plane.
Weapon.
This is a okay. Here's a plane with guns on. Here's a gun over a soldier's shoulder. That's tricky to say fast.
Weapons.
What are these? What's he got here?
A sword.
He's got a sword, and what's the cavalier got?
A gun.
A musket, yes, simple gun. Good. So, what can you find any more weapons?
What's that?
What's that? What's in that?
It's an arrow.
It's an arrow. Good.
In the eye.
Good. Can you find any more drawings of weapons?
There's definitely a bomb.
There's an atomic bomb there. Well done. Any more drawings of weapons?
Do crowns count as weapons?
No. There is a spear in the side of this oxen on this cave
How
painting.
did an oxen get there? Oh, it's a cave painting.
So there's a spear here, and there's a sword here. In
A
this
sword
Roman
and a shield.
picture. Good, okay. Also,
Never.
this is a guillotine, which is a weapon which was used to execute people during the French Revolution. Okay, so I think that's all the weapons we've found. The next question says,
Chop.
how has this topic changed over time? Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to move my finger pointing only at the weapons, starting with the earliest ones and moving forward, and I want you to see if you can try to tell a story about how weapons have changed over time. You ready?
First it was a spear.
And what kinds of things were they made of, do you know, in the Stone
The
Age?
spears were made of sticks and stones.
Sticks and stones, good. Oh, we missed this one. We've got a,
shield
I would have
and
thought a
javelin.
bronze sword, or a javelin maybe?
A shield and a javelin.
And what would they have been made of in the ancient Greek times?
Made of bronze.
Bronze, yep, they made a lot of them out of bronze. But again, wood and leather, didn't they? Okay, moving forward to the Romans, and what were they made?
Swords and shields.
And what might they have made them out of?
Metal.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely been using iron and steel by then, haven't they? Good.
And
Well, at least
copper,
iron.
obviously.
Well, I'm not sure they would have made a copper sword, would they? They'd had some nice iron swords, wouldn't they? Good. What about here?
An arrow.
Yeah.
And now I'm made of feathers and sticks.
Yeah, but I think we're still expecting a metal tip, aren't we?
And
Okay, and now here we've got...
a gun or
That's
gunpowder.
right. So that's brilliant. They've got some gunpowder now, haven't they? Yes.
And metal into
And we might expect a tempered steel sword by now, mightn't we?
sword of steel.
Yeah.
And probably some kind of ore.
Some kind of
Which probably included some ore.
ore. Metal ore. Yes, that's how you need metal ore to make things out of metal. That's right. Then we're moving on here. Now, what do you know?
Wood
much?
and metal.
But-
This thing is a kind of more high tech axe. I mean, you need an
It
education,
is.
and why not make an axe that
careful.
can chop itself?
It is. It's much more high tech than just an axe for cutting people's heads off, isn't it? Yes. It was very, very fast. This is quite interesting because the guillotine was designed to kill people quickly so they didn't feel pain. So it was designed to be a humane method of killing people. So this is a new introduction to the idea of weapons. It's trying to make sure that you kill people fast rather than making them suffer, which is a thought that I don't think we had far back in the Stone Age. I think people were just trying to achieve it, but here they're trying to add a bit of finesse. Okay, next weapon we've got to is this gun here. What do you think the difference would have been between this gun and this gun?
This gun is probably more powerful.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would also have been more reliable. The muskets that they used in the Civil War were not very reliable. Moving on, what have we got here?
Pew, 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 pew.
Guns on a plane. What difference does that make?
It means you can shoot with airborne attacking.
That's true.
Without
Which
having to hitch a ride on a flying ostrich.
okay, ostriches don't fly, so I don't think at any point in history people were flying around on ostriches, were they? I think that's it silly. So, what real difference do you think weaponising planes made to a war? What do you think changed then? Well,
It made more sky pollution.
well, it probably did. I think the other thing is it means you can kill people from a lot further away, which probably changed how people felt about war. Because you're making gun noises as if they're fun, aren't you? Do you think that being able to kill people from a long way away changed how people felt about war?
Yes.
How do you think it changed
It would make them feel a lot safer by us.
They would feel a lot safer, that's right. It would mean you could go to war and kill people without worrying about getting hurt yourself. That's a big difference. And that, I think, is exemplified here. What happens here?
A humongous explosion.
And what
An atomic bomb!
And what difference does that make, do you think?
A very big difference.
What difference?
It can mass produce killing.
That's right. And then you start to lose count of the damage you've done, don't you?
Yeah.
And so then it starts to feel less real, because when things are too big for us to imagine, when you were here and you were shooting a single person with a gun, you couldn't avoid seeing the damage you've done with your weapons, could you? But once you get here, the damage the atomic weapons did has lasted for generations. They're still feeling the effects today of Hiroshima. So it's unimaginable how much destruction they've caused, and they don't have to think about it the same way that you would have to think about it if you actually shot somebody you were really looking at, wouldn't you?
Complete and utter.
So in a lot of ways, weapons have become more powerful, but they've also become less personal, which probably changes the way people fight, do you think?
Boom, boom, boom. Less more carelessly.
I think more carelessly is probably the answer. Well done. Okay. So perhaps not the most cheerful topic to examine over history, but definitely a very interesting discussion. Thank you for joining us. I hope that you'll see us again.
Bye bye.